They can say.
এটাও রেখে দিন
After the
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you. So, Nirwan, you wanted to know a little bit about what this is all about,
let's
right?
sit down.
So let's sit down.
Yeah.
So we can
Say two words.
Two words. Go ahead, Chairman.
Just to share, I think everybody knows NABIL Bank is the first joint venture bank to start operations in Nepal. Over the years, we've built a business which we're very proud of. A business which, on the lending side, focuses a lot on corporate banking. But now we're shifting our focus to mid-corporate and SME as well. This shift doesn't mean we're shifting away from corporates. We're going to grow the corporate book also. But incrementally, we're going to grow the mid-corporate and SME book more. To do that, we have realized that we must do whatever we are doing in the past even better, but we must do things completely differently as well. The first step towards that is the setting up of this mid-corporate SME hub over here. We have a branch also right next door. Along with that, we would also like to use some of the best practices, regional, international, and that's where we've entered into this agreement with Suction. We hope that with this agreement, we will relook at the way our unit is, the structure of the unit itself, the processes and policies we follow, the way we look at credit, the way we look at security and risk in mid-corporate and SME, as well as being able to go into businesses that we may not have been. If you look at Nepal, I believe we're a SME country. No other country, every house has a business underneath it, has a shutter underneath it. That is our SME. That is our target market. So today we're also launching what we call the NABIL SME Fast Track. So our commitment is, from the day you apply and giving you documents, within 5 days, the money will be in your account. The loan will be approved and you will get the drawdown within 5 days. That's the NABIL Fast Track commitment to everybody. And I think we want to tell people who are currently not in banking, who are either going to cooperatives or finance companies, that now NABIL Bank is ready for business with you. This is just the start. We want to do much more. We realize that there is a lot of learning to be done by the team and by all of us, and that's where I'd like to hand over to Saksham to get an idea of their vision at this point.
No, thanks very much. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, members of the board. NABIL Bank is indeed an honor, a pleasure to be here with you and working with a bank like NABIL. We are a UK aid funded access to finance program. The key goal of our program is financial inclusion. And as part of that work, we really want to foster an ecosystem for the development of SMEs. As Anil rightfully said, the future of Nepal lies in its SMEs. It doesn't lie in the big corporates. And I'll be very, and even with the big corporates have the backward linkages to the SMEs, that is very critical and crucial. According to an IFC study that was done a few years ago, the funding needs for SMEs in Nepal could be anywhere from about 800 million to about $1.2 billion is what they are looking at in terms of funding needs. So if you were to look at that space, there's hardly anybody out there within the financial service industry that's serving that very important client, which we call the missing middle in this country. And it is in this context that we at UK Suction have been promoting the methodologies and the ways in which we can energize our banks to really take on this segment. This segment does have a lot of risk, but with a lot of risk comes a lot of reward as well. But if it's done the right way, like the start that we anticipate is going to happen with NABIL, in the context of having a completely new mindset in the way you approach SME lending, you approach an SME client, you never approach an SME client the way you approach a corporate client. Let's be very frank about that. So the whole context under which the new focus, the new ethos of NABIL Bank towards this client base is something that we aspire to bring to the world, working closely with like-minded partners like NABIL. What that really means is a new mindset that basically is willing to take on a new way of assessing the borrowing capacity, the lending capacity, and the way the treatment capacity of an SME is a completely different ballgame. Looking at ways in which you analyze the credit history, or you analyze people that have no credit history at all. How do you really bring them into the formal financial system? There are proven and tested and tried models around the world which lend themselves to having a new approach. These new approaches are along the lines of what are called psychometric lending approaches that have been adopted around the world. We are hoping to bring something new to NABIL Bank, and I'm hoping that NABIL Bank will adopt these new behavioral changes that you want to really see in clients by way of psychometric lending for the first time in this country. And psychometric lending can take on very different ways and shapes and forms in which you really analyze the true worth of an individual's propensity to pay. It's not his willingness to pay. It's not his propensity to pay, but it is his willingness to pay. And that's something we hope we will bring through our partnership. New lending methodologies, new ways of exercising due diligence on these SME clients, getting them to really understand that coming into a bank, there shouldn't be fear coming into a bank. If you talk to a small-time SME, he's really scared about going into a bank because he thinks that banks are all ties and suited people that will never even listen to him or her. So how do you create a friendly culture? And I'm hoping that through this dedicated unit that you have established, that you moved away from your traditional way you do banking, you're creating a new mindset, you're creating a new energy, you're creating a new sense of enthusiasm. This is where we believe we can come and make a difference. So I'd like to thank you, Chairman, and I think NABIL can set the standards. We're not working with a few banks in Nepal, but in order for us to get to that level that we want to get to, we need the likes of NABIL to be partnering with us. And today is a good day, and I'm hoping that with the people that are here with us today, the esteemed members of the board, the CEO, who's a dynamic guy who I've worked with, I would really look forward, the Chairman, with you and the members of the board to really make something tangible, so that we can show you that within the next 6 to 12 months, we'll start to see a lot of activity in this SME. Thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.